So now we're going to configure Windows to use GitHub. And to do that, we're going to have to install Git, and then we're going to install GitHub, and then we're going to change some settings in GitHub so that we could use a terminal emulator. And that'll allow us to do the commands that are Unix-like commands. So there's two main types of operating systems, as I've mentioned. There are like the Unix oriented operating systems, which includes Unix, Linux, POSIX, P-O-S-I-X. That's how you sometimes hear these types of operating systems referred to. So Linux and Unix are over here, Berkeley Software Development, and then there's Windows, which traditionally were DOS-based. So two different types of operating systems, two different command line interfaces. We call it the terminal over here on POSIX type operating systems. We call it the DOS prompt or the command prompt over here. That's what the command line prompt's called over on the Windows. So if you want to use, it's best to use, in my opinion, Unix type commands. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this course. Anyhow, we need to do all that, get it set up. You only need to watch this video if you're a Windows user. If you're a Mac user or Linux user, you do not need to watch this video. All right, so that said, I forgot to say Mac is part of the POSIX. So Mac, Linux, Unix, Berkeley Software Development, POSIX type operating systems. I don't know if I say that POSIX word right, P-O-S-I-X. So first thing first, we need to go get Git. So I'm going to go to Git. Autocomplete. I'm going to go to Git. Just Git. There we go, Git. That's what I want, Git. So here it is, Git downloads. And I need to download this software. And I'm going to click Downloads for Windows. And I have a 32-bit and a 64-bit option, okay? So there's 32-bit, 64-bit. How do you tell what your computer is? So older computers are 32-bit, newer computers are 64-bit. To figure out what your computer is, you need to go to your computer. So I can look over here and I might see my computer. Easiest way is to right-click and choose File Explorer. So I right-clicked right on that little Windows icon and I chose File Explorer. And then inside here, I'm looking for this PC or my computer or something like that. It changes from different versions. I'm going to choose Properties. I want to see the properties of this computer, which will tell me, hey, what is it, 32-bit or 64-bit? And I can see here this is a 64-bit operating system. So I'm 64-bit. Cool! Have to have a good machine to record these videos, so have a nice computer. Anyhow, if you're 64-bit, you want to do the 64-bit setup. Your download is starting. You're downloading the latest 64-bit version. I don't see my download. Did it come down already? So I'm going to go check my downloads folder. And I have, there we go, Git. So now I'm just going to double click that. And it's asking me if I want to allow this app to make changes to your PC. Yes. And next. And additional icons on the desktop, Windows Explorer integration, Git bash here, Git GUI here, associate Git configuration, associate sh files, and use a true type font, that's all fine. And use Git from bash only, use Git from Windows command prompt, use Git and optional Unix tools from the Windows command prompt. Both Git and the optional Unix tools will be added to your path. Warning, this will override Windows tools like find and sort. Only use this option if you understand the implications. So I'm going to use that option because I like Unix tools. And both of these will work. This one works better. I recommend that. If you don't use command line interface on Windows, like you're not currently using the DOS, command prompt, if you're not using that on Windows currently, don't worry about it. Just choose this one. If you are using the command prompt on Windows, you know what you're doing, right? So you can make the distinction between these. If you're already doing command line stuff on Windows with the DOS prompt, command prompt, then go ahead and choose whichever you want. But I'm choosing that one. There we go. And check out Windows style, commit Unix style line endings. Check out as is, commit Unix style line endings. Check out as is, commit as is. We want check out as is, commit Unix style line endings. See, Unix oriented, POSIX oriented, right? So that's why I really recommend the terminal. So now I'm going to hit next. Use min-tty, the default terminal of this. Use Windows default console. I'm going to use min-tty Just leave that one checked. Enable file system caching, enable Git credential manager, that's fine. I am now ready to install. I have no idea when I hit install if this is going to how it will impact my system because I'm screen recording at the same time. We are going to find out. You ready? Here we go. All right, cool. Now Git is installed. Setup has been finished installing Git. Click Finish to exit. View release notes. I don't need to see that. Launch Git. I don't need to launch it. I'm just going to hit Finish. There we go. We're all done. Next thing I need to do is I need to go get GitHub. So I'm just going to delete these folders in my download file or delete these files in my download folder because I don't need them. Bye-bye. Sorry, next thing is GitHub download. So there's Git and there's GitHub. Now I'm getting GitHub. So desktop, GitHub Desktop, simple collaboration from your desktop. So there we go. Download GitHub Desktop. Bringing it down. There it is in Chrome. And it's showing up over here in my downloads. So I'm just going to double click it right there. And do you want to install this application? Yes, I do. So now it's installing. All right, cool. So it's finished installing, and now it's asking me to log in. So I have to go get my login credentials, and I'm just going to blur this stuff out. All right, so I got my password in there. I'm logged in, and it's asking me now what email I want to use. So this will be used in the commits you create. Keep in mind that if you publish commits, anyone will have access to this email. This will change your global Git config. So what email do I want to use? That's my work email. So now you have my work email. That's fine. You can email me there if you want. No big deal. But a lot of the email that goes there, because it's Microsoft, goes to spam. So be aware of that. I think I'll use this email, which is one of my Gmail accounts. And you can also email me at this email if you ever want to email me. But I've got kids, super busy. I'll try to get back to you. But hey, whatever. I think it's kind of cool knowing people all over the world, and I love helping people. I do. TudleyMC@gmail.com. There we go. Click continue. No local repositories found. Head over to your dashboard to get started. All right, fine. So I'm just going to click, I can't move that. That's weird. I'm going to click skip right here. Just skip that. And now the next thing I want to do is I want to configure. Now I can move it. Thank you. I want to configure my settings. And so right here, I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to go into my options. And in here, I'm going to choose Git Bash. I want to use Git Bash as my shell. And help us improve by sending anonymous usage data. I'll take that off. And the clone path is right there. That's fine. And appearance, light, dark, safe. So I just want to make sure it's Git Bash. There we go. So now I have that, and now I can come over here, and I can look in all apps, and I could see, is there GitHub right there? There's my GitHub, and I could open that up, and there's my Git shell. And so I could right-click this and pin this to start, more, open file location, pin it to start. That's kind of funny. I wonder if I could just drag it and drop it right there. That's not doing it. Oh, there we go. It doesn't want to be right there. That's fine. We'll leave it right there. I'll pin it to start. Pin to start, and then GitHub, pin to start, and just see if there's anything more there. Pin to taskbar. I like that one. I could do GitHub to the taskbar. All right, so there's my GitHub. I'm going to go ahead and start my Git shell. And in my Git shell, I should now be able to do Unix type commands. Let's see if there's some settings here. So I'm going to go into options. And with options, I have text. And I could, instead of being 9-point, which is really small, I'm going to make that like 18 or 28 so that we can all see that. And then hit OK. And looks, I have different looks. And window, I could change the size of the window. So I'm going to do like 200 by, I don't know, 80. And apply. And let's make this bigger. So now you can see that really clearly. That's pretty cool. So now we could try some of our commands. pwd, print working directory. And I'm in C users Todd recording documents GitHub. And if I do a cd and then print working directory, I'm in my home directory. So that's working. I could do an ls and it listed everything. I think that this is too big, the font. We need to come down in size. So options, text, and select, let's go to 18. There we go, try that. Okay, yeah, that's better. And Control K, didn't clear it out, but CLS, clear, clears it out. So there's clear, so ls-la, and it did LA where it gave me everything versus just LS, right? Just gives me some stuff. ls-la gave me more information. So we look like we're good. We have everything set up. We've got Git, we've got GitHub, and then we have a terminal right here. I could create a new directory. So, let me see, make dir temporary. There we go, that's fine. And then ls and see if that's in there. And there's my temporary. So I could change into temporary. So just temper and then tab will complete it. And then there I am in there. And I could do a ls-la and see what's in there. I'm just going to clear everything out and then do that again. And I have nothing in there. And I could do a git init. And initialize empty Git repository ls-la. So now you can see that there's the .git folder in there. Cool. I got all my Unix commands working. So let's make sure we covered everything we needed to cover in this video. This video was all about configuring Windows for GitHubs. And we installed Git, and then we installed GitHub, and then we opened up GitHub's terminal emulator, and we're able to use it. So that's everything I wanted to cover in this video. I'll put in a few notes here so you could reference our course document with all of our lectures outlined and make sure that you get each of the points. But that is how you get Git and GitHub up and running on Windows.